So this gonna be part 3 of my redemption videos with a series, what I'm trying to put together. And what I'm gonna do in this one is, because I got a lot to explain, so I have to go back and forth. So basically I'm gonna explain why I love my family so much. And because all these redemption videos ain't just about bad times or hard times. Actually, I've had way more good times than bad times. And I'm just now starting to appreciate the good times. Now, I'm from Flint, Michigan, and first hit the like button and subscribe and share if you can. But first, I'm gonna explain. I'm from Flint, and if anybody know anything about Flint, uh, they should know my family. I'm connected to a family called the Tylers. This is my blood family. I'm not a Tyler, but the Tylers is my blood family, and I'm finna explain that to you. And I want to explain why my family is so strong and why it's been so good for me and my siblings. Now, I'm connected to the Tylers through my grandmother. Now, my mother is the oldest, and she had all brothers. She got 6, 7 brothers. And they all had the same father, which their father last name was Tyler. So I'm connected to them through my grandmother. We blood, but we blood through my grandmother. I'm not blood through their daddy or their granddaddy or however we want to say it, but I'm blood through them. So we connected through our grandmother, but we family. Family is family, and we value that a lot. Well, when I was coming up, we valued that a lot, and I'm trying to do this so other family members can understand how valuable family is. Now, I had all these uncles, man. The one thing I can say about my uncles, they all some characters too, and I'm gonna explain some of them characters because my uncles, all of them had different characters, and they all, to me, they all was good men in a way. I learned a lot from my uncles. But the one thing that I learned from my uncles is they knew how to pick women. And when I say women, great women. Like I'm telling you, and that's where I'm gonna go with this story. Women is the backbone of the Tyler family, of this family. My mama is she a cold piece, but and I'm not just saying that because that's my mama. I'm gonna drop one about her, but the women in my family, like the women I grew up with, like my aunties, and like my aunties was like, I look at my aunties like this. My uncles is my blood uncles. These are my uncles. But my aunties came way before them. Like I wouldn't put them before none of, even the side chicks. I wouldn't put them before the side chicks. You know what I'm saying? And I had a lot of my Aunt Sue, my Aunt Barbara Jean, my Aunt Pam, my Aunt Peggy, my Aunt Benita, my Aunt Pat. Man, it was just so many of them, man. I just can't even name them. But these was like my real aunties, like blood, and they treated us they that's why we would go all the way out for these women. Like we would go out for these. My Aunt Jeannie, I can't leave my Aunt Jeannie out. Shoot, I think I said my Aunt Benita. Like these women were in they picked some dimes too. Like they picked some beautiful, but these women were so solid and they were so structured. Like I watched them hold like hundreds of us down. Like if it weren't for the women, like a lot, this family would have failed. I ain't gonna even lie. So a lot of people think I be having things against women and nothing like that. No, it's just that the women I'd have seen and the women that raised me and the women I was around, like they set a higher standard for shoes. Most women and my cousins was and my cousins and my sisters and all the females in my family. I was looking at them like that. Like it was a higher standard set for them. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it wasn't no better than them. It wasn't no better than, you know what I'm saying? My sister Connie, my sister Tina, you know what I'm saying? All 5 of my sisters, my cousin Angie, my cousin Kim. Like these women was top tier women to me. I don't know how other dudes was looking at them though, but if I wasn't hooking up with nothing like that, you know, I wasn't gonna take it serious. You know, and that go for all the women in my family, and I ain't saying they was perfect. All of us have flaws, but one flaw we didn't have is we stuck together and we was a family, and we was family like we stayed close to each other. Like it was like we always can get to each other in a matter of minutes. Like we always, everybody was together at all times, men and women. But the women of my family is the backbone. And when I say the backbone, they still is right now today. You know what I'm saying? They still is right now today. Man, to me, they powerful and they beautiful. And I thank God that he gave me a chance to sit down and realize what I had in the type of influence, because I'll be looking at my cousins and especially the females, and I look, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about the men probably later, man, but these women is, man, ooh, man, I'm talking about the best. I'm talking about the best in the world. Like, and I'm not just saying that just because they my family. I done seen how they can get through struggles and everything, and they solid. You know what I'm saying? And they make men solid. They turn, you know what I'm saying? Man, they make solid. They make men solid. You know what I'm saying? Like the women that I grew up around, man, and it's a lot of them, man, and they ain't only in Flint, but it's a lot of them in Flint, and they solid, man. And I appreciate God every day, because every time I think about them, while I see them on Facebook, I be like, sometimes you know, because my eyes are terrible when I see some of my cousins, you know, and I got a lot of nieces, nephews, look, cause they got kids, girls, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I see how they grow, and I can see because I know where they came from. They came from my aunties. Like I'm telling you, man, my aunties was, man, I got stories about all my aunties, man, and I know how powerful they was, man. And I thank God that I got a chance to be around these women. Like I say, you know, this is a part of my redemption, but every story that I tell is not going to be a sad story. So I'm just honoring all the women in my family, every last one of them. You know, y'all set the standard so high that, you know, and I'm glad y'all set the standard so high, because I know for me, I know what you're supposed to be treated like, and I know how to treat a woman, and I know what a woman can be. If you know what I'm saying, if you had a good woman, I know what a woman can be. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, as men, we be off in our own world, man, and that's something we got to get off of, out of that selfishness. And you know, but my aunties, man, I thank God for all of them, man. And it's a lot of them gone, but God rest their souls, man. But if it wasn't for them, man, I don't think this family would have got this far. I'm telling you, we wouldn't have got this far without. Now I know we wouldn't have got this far without the women of my family. And that's not only my aunties. I'm talking about my cousins, you know, my siblings, the females in my family. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I could go on, man. It's a lot of them, man. You know, rest in peace to my cousin Sonya, you know what I'm saying, Terry Lynn, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of them, man. And they all was, in the end, they beautiful, and they was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? They all still beautiful in my eyes. So, yeah, it ain't, the redemption ain't all bad. And I thank God for, he like, no, you tell the whole story. You ain't got to always be making people feel sad and all that. It ain't about making people sad, because my family, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, 80, 70, I say like this, 70 to 80% of the time, man, we was doing good and we was having fun, man. And we was sticking together, man, and we was looking out for each other. We was always around each other, and you could tell that we was family. You could tell all of us was family. People knew who we was and knew that we was family. I thank God for that. So I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Like I say, hit the like, subscribe, and share button, man. I love y'all.